Hi, my name is Christine, and most of you know me as Stina Raven. And today, I'm doing something that I've avoided for a long time. I'm stepping into a true crime conversation that, honestly, I wish I didn't have to. But something happened recently that crossed a line for me, a line of ethics, empathy, and basic human decency. And because of that, I need to explain why I'm here. I am not a drama channel. I don't chase scandals. I don't cover cases for shock value. But I have always been a big fan of true crime, not for the gore or the shock, but because of the patterns. I'm a pattern decoder by nature, and true crime has always pulled me in for two very different reasons. On the one hand, I've always been fascinated about why people commit atrocious actions. What psychological breaks? What unresolved shadows? What convergence of events led them to commit such horrible actions against their fellow humans, or even animals for that matter, especially for animals in many cases. But on the other hand, I don't see crime from the angle most channels focus on. I see it from the victim's perspective. And when I say that, I mean it literally. When I hear or read about a crime, my mind doesn't slip into the perpetrator's view. It drops straight into the emotional reality of the person who was harmed. I feel the fear, the panic, the disorientation, the human experience behind the headlines. It's not something I try to do. It's just how my brain processes these stories. And because of that, I am extremely careful with how cases are discussed. To me, these aren't crime details. They're lived moments of terror for someone who deserved protection and dignity. This sensitivity is exactly why the recent Hidden True Crimes analysis hit me so hard. Recently, Hidden True Crime released an analysis that forced me to pay attention. Not because it was interesting, and not because it was deeply wrong. I watched a creator read out loud the graphic details of a violent essay on two minor females, presented almost like content to dissect. And something in me said, absolutely not. This is where I draw the line. I want to be very clear. I'm not entering the conversation to attack anyone. I'm not here to sensationalize the trauma, and I'm not going to describe the case itself. That's not the point of this series. I'm entering this discussion because I understand something about boundary violations, not from the case, but from my own life. And I'm not going into details because this isn't about me. But I am acknowledging this. When you've lived through boundary violations, you develop a radar. You notice when something is morally off, when other people seem numb to it. That's the feeling I had, and that's what brought me here. So here's what this 3-part series is about. It's about the ethical failures surrounding the situation. It's about the patterns we're seeing in the true crime space. It's about the way victimization turns into entertainment. And it's about the archetypes that repeat themselves over and over. Here are some of the archetypes that I've identified with the Hidden True Crime issue. The fallen oracle, the martyr performer, the trickster, the disillusion collector, and the archetype of public karma. These archetypes don't just describe what is happening, they reveal the deeper structure underneath it. And throughout this series, I'm going to show you the patterns and archetypes playing out around the Hidden True Crime scandal. Not to sensationalize anything, but to map symbolic architecture behind what we are witnessing. Because here's the thing. When certain archetypes surface, they don't just represent the present moment. They often foreshadow what comes next. And in this case, these patterns point toward a cycle of collapse, accountability, and public unraveling that may already be underway. I'm not predicting outcomes. I'm not wishing harm to anyone. I'm simply decoding the trajectory these symbols are tracing. These videos will not be graphic. They will not re-traumatize anyone. They will not exploit victims. They will be grounded. They will be ethical. And they will explore the symbolism, psychology, and repeating archetypes that explain why this moment matters. Part 1 will explain why this particular analysis crossed a moral line and what it teaches us about responsibility in storytelling. Part 2 will break down the archetypes unfolding in real time. And Part 3 will explore why these patterns matter for the future of true crime as a whole. In short, I'm entering this conversation, folks, because staying silent felt like complicity. And I'm entering it with care, discernment, and the same integrity I bring to everything else on my channel. If this resonates with you, make sure you subscribe and tap the notification bell so you don't miss Part 1, which I plan to have it delivered next weekend. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Take care.